back, guys. This is video 2 for Unit 4, and today we're going to talk about equations of lines. So at this point you should have finished video 1 and first 2 pages of the packet. If you have not received the packet yet, in case if you were absent last 2 days, make sure you come and see me so I can provide you with your packet. So for today you will need 3 papers, and these are included in the packet. So this is the first page, equations of lines, which continues on the second page, and the last page for today is the point slope formula sheet as well. So our objective today is talk about equations of lines and the 2 different forms that they come in. The first form is slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So m is going to tell you how steep the line is, and b is going to tell you where is the line crossing the y-axis. We also have a standard form. Standard form would look something like this. So x plus y is equal 10. Now please notice when you work with standard form, it doesn't give you slope and y-intercept right away, but there is a way to get to slope and y-intercept, and when you work with standard form, and I'll show you that a little bit later. So we're going to start with our worksheet, so make sure you open your packets to equations of lines. And the first form that we're going to talk about is mx plus b. So in your notes, we're going to write in the generic, formula for the slope-intercept, which is y is equal, m x plus b. Okay, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Here we go. So you can have a graph like here in this example number 1. I'm going to start with number 1, and from here you can see that the y-intercept is this point at which the line is crossing the y-axis. We are actually missing a line right here. It didn't show on our diagram. So if we count down, this line is crossing y-axis at -3. Now slope, we can also read from the graph, and you should be familiar with this because we did this in our previous worksheet. I can see the slope is positive because when we look at the line left to right, we can see that the line is going up. So this is going to give us a positive slope. So now we're going to count to see how many points do we have to go up. So we have 1. I'm trying to pick a different color. So you have 1, 2, 3. You have to go 4 up, 4 squares up, and then over. The run is going to be 1, 2. So 4 over 2. Now we can simplify this. We know that 4 divided by 2 is just 2. So my slope is 2. My y-intercept is -3. I can plug in slope-intercept form. So y is equal m, which is 2, x plus b. Well, our slope is negative, so we're actually going to have a -3, and that would be your answer. Let's look at example 2. So now in this example 2, same thing. You're looking for the y-intercept. Where is the line crossing the y-axis? It looks like at -2. So my y-intercept is -2. Now I need to find a slope. So now if we look at the line going left to right, I can see that my line is going downward, and we're going to have a negative slope. So just keep that in mind, okay? The slope is going to be negative. So let's count. Let's see, what is our rise over run? So we're going to start from this point and we're going to go down. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going 4 down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. So slope is 4 over 5. So our equation is going to say y is equal negative 4 over 5 x minus the y-intercept, which is minus 2. Now I would like you to try example 3 and 4 on your own, and I will be giving you answer keys by the end of this week, so you will be able to check if 3 or 4 are correct, or you can just ask me in class and we can double check, make sure that you are doing it correctly. Just keep in mind slope in problem 3 is negative, and in problem 4 it's going to be positive. So make sure you keep the correct slope signs. Now we're going to work with the standard form. So when you have a standard form, so x plus y is equal a number. Notice you don't have slope, you don't have y-intercept, but there is a way to get slope and y-intercept, and this is going to be the way. Basically, you have to get y is equal mx plus b. Okay, so we have to get y by itself. So in this example 7, x is in a way in getting y by itself. So the way you're going to cancel out the x on the left hand side is you're going to subtract it, and so x minus x will cancel into 0, and now I have y is equal, we always going to keep x first, that's just a standard way to write things, plus 6. There's no way to combine 6 and negative x, so please make sure you don't combine them. And that's it. We have our standard form in a slope-intercept form. Now let's try number 8. Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to pick a different color. So here, again, I'm going to try to cancel out 5x first. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. Minus 5x. So this is gone. I am left with 2y, which is equal negative 5x minus 2. Now notice you still have this 2. Okay, this 2 has to go. And the way we're going to make 2 go, we're going to divide both sides by 2. Now, when you go to the right hand side, make sure you divide everything by 2. So negative 5x and negative 2. So let's see, what do we have left? So 2 over 2 is just 1. So here I have y is equal. Now negative 5 over 2 is just negative 5 over 2. You can write that as a decimal if you like. That's negative 2.5, but you can leave it as a fraction as well. And then negative 2 over 2 is just negative 1. And here you go. You got your slope-intercept form. Okay, let me show you number 9 now. Please, at any point, if you feel like I'm going too fast, you can pause the video to make sure you take your notes and then unpause it when you want to continue. Now here, what we're going to do, we are going to subtract a negative 2x. Remember, your goal is to get y by itself. Negative 2x. So 2x minus 2x is 0, and here I am left with negative 4y, which is equal negative 2x plus 28. Don't forget the 28. Here we go. And now we're going to divide. Everything has to be divided by negative 4 because you want to get y by itself, and negative 4 is attached to y, so it has to be canceled out. So that's going to go, and now I have y is equal negative 2 over negative 4. Well, negative over negative give me a positive 1/2 x, and now I have 28 over negative 4. Positive over negative is going to give you a negative, and 28 divided by 4 is 7. And here you go. This is your slope-intercept form. Now, I'm going to leave 10, 11, and 12 for you guys to finish. Again, in class, if you have any questions, make sure you ask me questions. Now, we already talked about vertical and horizontal lines. So we said when you're working with a vertical line, you basically don't have, the slope is undefined, undef. When we work with horizontal line, slope is always 0, okay? No, so equation of this line is basically you look at, okay, where is the line crossing, or which axis is actually crossing? In this case, it's crossing x-axis. So equation of this line is just x is equal 1. It's crossing is where x is 1. The other one is crossing the y-axis, so the equation of this line is going to be y is equal, and it's crossing it at 3, so this equation is just y equal 3. These are fairly simple equations. Just make sure that you look at where is the line crossing, or actually which axis is it crossing. Now, we're going to skip this part because I'm planning to do this with you guys in class on Thursday. So the last worksheet for today is a point slope formula worksheet. And here is the point slope formula. So this is the one where you basically have a point and a slope. And then you can write the equation of the line. So this is the formula. Make sure you write down the formula. Here we go. So you notice I have a slope and I have x1 and y1, which are basically part of your point. So for the first example, I'm going to say x1 is 4, y1 is 1. So you're going to go y minus 1 is equal, slope is 2, x minus 4, which is x1. Now we have to distribute 2. Okay? So y minus 1 is equal to x, and then 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And now my last step is basically just add 1 to both sides, because what you want to do, you want to get y by itself. So y is equal 2x minus 7, because negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7. So let me do number 2 for you guys. So number 2, you're going to have, again, y minus 4 is equal 1/2 x minus 2. You follow the same formula. We're going to distribute the 1/2. So y minus 4 is equal 1/2 x. 1/2 times negative 2 is just negative 1. And now at this point, I add 4 to both sides. So my y is equal 1/2 x plus 3. And here it is. Now please do me a favor. Finish examples 3 and 4 on your own again. And we're going to ask me if you want me to double check your answers. So the last topic for today is, okay, how do we write an equation when we only have 2 points? We don't have a slope. Well, I have to find a slope. So slope is equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? So I can say this is my x1, this is my y1, x2, y2. So you label your points. And now you're going to plug it in. Now here, this is the place where we have to be careful about the signs. So y2 is negative 1, y1 is negative 7, so it's minus 7. x2 is 1, and x1 is negative 3. Notice how I'm writing negative 3. So my slope is negative 8 over, this becomes a plus, so over 4. So slope is actually negative 2. Always simplify when you can. And now what you have to do, you have a slope, you pick one of the points. I'm just going to continue writing here on where number 6 is. So I'm going to pick point 1, negative 1. Okay, I'm continuing with problem 5 here. So you're going to go y minus negative 1 is equal slope, which is negative 2, times x minus 1. I'm using the point slope formula from the top of the page. This is going to turn into a plus, so you have y plus 1 is equal, please distribute, negative 2, so that becomes negative 2x plus 2. And now final step is basically just subtract 1 from both sides. So y is equal negative 2x plus 1. And you're done. Now make sure you do 6, 7, and 8 in class, and again ask. There will be a second part to this video, so please make sure you check the second part of this video. Thank you.